There is a level of discipline that changes the way people look at you. Not with admiration, with silence. Because when a person reaches that level, you stop looking human to them. You move differently. You speak less. You execute without hesitation. And today, you'll learn exactly how to get there. Have you ever met that person who never seems to fall off track? Who shows up whether it's raining, whether they're tired, whether anyone's watching or not? While most people fade after 2 weeks, they just keep going. No drama, no noise, no breaks. People say things like, "That's unnatural." Good, that's the point. Because there is a system, not a trick, not a secret, but a psychological process that creates this kind of frightening consistency. Once you understand it, you'll never fight with motivation again, but there's a catch. To use it, you'll have to bury a version of yourself that's been in control for far too long. Before we start, subscribe to The Mindful Path, like this video, and comment the one habit you'll master this year. It helps a lot, and it tells me you're serious about change. Let's begin. This is the story of a man named Daniel. He was a designer, talented, intelligent, full of potential. But there was a pattern he couldn't escape. He started projects with fire, but within weeks, the fire turned to smoke. He joined gyms, bought journals, followed productivity gurus. Nothing lasted. He'd wake up early on Monday, motivated. By Wednesday, he'd start negotiating with himself. By Friday, he'd already given up. Sunday night, he'd write a plan to start again. You know that loop, the endless restart. Daniel thought his problem was laziness. It wasn't. It was the fact that he never built a system stronger than his feelings. Until one night, after missing another deadline, he wrote in his notebook, "I don't need more motivation. I need a new identity." That sentence changed everything. There are two kinds of decisions in life: reversible and irreversible. Reversible decisions are soft. You leave yourself an exit. You say, "I'll try," or "Let's see how it goes." And every time you get tired, you crawl back out of the door you left open. Irreversible decisions seal the exit. There's no turning back. That's what Daniel did. He took a blank sheet of paper and wrote, "For the next 100 days, I will wake at 5 a.m. and create for 90 minutes without interruption. No exceptions." He signed it. He placed the page on his desk, the same desk he used to make excuses at. He didn't post it online. He didn't announce it. He made a quiet declaration. The kind that lives in your spine, not your phone. And from that moment, his brain stopped asking questions. Because identity doesn't negotiate. Every morning we lose energy answering the same question. When should I start? That single question burns the fuel that should have gone into action. Daniel removed the question. 5 a.m. became non-negotiable. He didn't choose it because it's magical. He chose it because no one texts you at 5 a.m. No meetings, no distractions. The world is asleep. And that silence is a weapon. The first week was brutal. He wanted to quit. His body resisted. His mind screamed. But by week 2, something subtle happened. He began to wake up before the alarm. His body had adapted. By week 3, he was sitting at his desk before his conscious mind was fully awake. No debate, no delay. That's the power of a fixed hour. It removes time as a decision. You don't ask when anymore. You just move. But Daniel made a mistake most people make. He fixed his time, but not his content. Some days he sketched, some days he wrote, some days he scrolled and called it research. His brain had found a new way to negotiate, so he built a ritual. Exact same order every morning. 10 minutes of silence and focus. 10 minutes reading something that sharpened the mind. 70 minutes of creation, the work that actually mattered. Same chair, same light, same coffee. At first it felt repetitive. Then it felt powerful. Then it became invisible. Because when your ritual is fixed, your brain stops spending energy on choices. All energy goes to execution. That's when momentum begins to build. And once momentum takes over, you don't push it anymore. It pushes you. Day 42. Daniel's flight got delayed. He arrived home exhausted at 1 a.m. Old Daniel would have said, "I'll make it up tomorrow." The new Daniel opened his laptop, wrote one sentence, closed it, and went to sleep. Not because the work mattered, because the chain mattered. That's what most people don't get. Perfection kills consistency. You don't need to do it perfectly. You need to keep the rhythm alive. Miss a day, and the brain assumes the identity has died. Touch the chain, even for 1 minute, and the brain protects it. A river doesn't stop flowing because the rain stopped. It narrows, it's slowing, but it moves. That's how Daniel thought now. Never stop the flow. Discipline dies in chaos. You wake up late, you travel, you get sick. In those moments, you can't think. You choose comfort. Daniel saw this coming. He wrote what he called the contingency list. For every obstacle, a pre-answer. If I travel, I'll work from the hotel desk. If I'm sick, I'll still write 2 lines. If I oversleep, I'll cut the break, not the practice. If I feel unmotivated, I'll start the timer and move my hands until it catches up. No thinking, no guilt, just execution. Because the best time to make decisions is when life is calm, not when the storm hits. Once your answers are written, emotion loses its power. By day 70, Daniel stopped talking about discipline. He didn't think about it anymore. He just moved. Colleagues noticed his work quality changing. Friends said he was whispering too quiet. Someone told him, annoyed, "You're becoming robotic." Good. Robotic means the mind has surrendered to structure. At that point, discipline stops feeling like effort. It feels like breathing. He no longer felt the highs of motivation or the lows of guilt. He existed in rhythm, that rare state where consistency becomes identity. The system Daniel used can be reduced to 4 steps. 1. Identity declaration. Decide who you are, not what you'll try. 2. Fixed hour. Remove time as a question. 3rd, ritual lock. Repeat the same sequence until it becomes muscle memory. 4. Pre-decisions. Plan the answers before problems arrive. Do these 4 things, and you stop chasing motivation. You start running on internal software that doesn't crash when emotions do. Every transformation is violent in one way. Something in you must die. Your undisciplined self will fight, it will argue, it will beg for comfort. But the day it breaks, the silence that follows feels like freedom. You stop waking up to your own excuses. You stop apologizing for delay. You stop searching for balance, because discipline becomes your balance. On day 100, Daniel didn't celebrate. He didn't post it online. He simply looked at the same sheet of paper that started it all, the one that said, "I am the person who creates at 5 a.m. every day." He smiled. because that sentence was no longer motivation, it was truth. He no longer did the work, he was the work. Now it's your turn. Write your declaration. One sentence, simple, specific, signed. Choose your fixed hour. Design your ritual. Write your pre-decisions. And start. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be continuous. If this changed how you see discipline and consistency, subscribe to the Mindful Path and activate the bell so you never miss new content designed to transform your mind. Tell me in the comments what your declaration will be and which habit you will build with this system. Remember, the only consistency worth having is the one that makes excuses fall silent. There is a level of discipline that makes people look at you with fear, and today is the day you begin to get there.